I spent 8 months to a year in an orphanage in Korea with my older brother, who's about 2 years older than me. I was adopted when I was 3 and my brother was about 5 from South Korea. I remember family vacations when I was little and driving across the country in a large van. We were in a small town and I looked nothing like my parents and I looked nothing like my sister or my oldest brother. To me, that didn't matter because I knew I was their son. I have a few pictures of right around when I was adopted, and this first one's it's fallen apart, of course, but this is a photo that was sent to my adoptive parents of me in the orphanage. My parents were very forthcoming with the idea that our family was brought together for a specific reason. And regardless of where we were from, this was what God intended our family to be. And our history was a part of us, but still made us the family we were. Regardless of what we looked like, where we're from, God had a plan for our family and that this is where we were. As I've talked to adopted kids and parents, I believe every child at some point in their life has to come to grips with the issue of rejection. And the rejection is, it might not always make sense because I was adopted into a loving Christian family, but that my biological parents, even though they couldn't take care of me, I viewed it as a form of rejection. And I think every adopted kid has to come to terms with that I'm worthwhile and able to be adopted. Even as an adult, I believe, and I know personally, I deal with that. But I think there's a lot of biblical principles that come through in that, because a lot of us do feel like we're not worthy of something. And the idea of being adopted into Christ's family, as I've gotten older and had kids, really understanding that has been key to my growth as a father, but also as a Christian and as an adopted child. My mother saved that outfit that I came to the U.S. in. And haven't really gotten rid of it. Haven't been able to see getting rid of it. We were pretty involved in the church throughout my life, and a denomination that really focused on missionaries being overseas. And I think it's a little bit of a family joke that my mother was almost disappointed when I went to medical school because she thought, oh, maybe he can't be a missionary now. But I went into a fellowship in international medicine and disaster relief to start working with kids in orphanages to provide care and sometimes just hope. I met my wife in Nicaragua doing medical work. She also happened to be volunteering, and what's been neat is over the years we've continued to be able to work with different ministries in different countries all around the world. And most recently we worked with a group in Nepal with girls who were rescued from sex trafficking out of India. Most of these girls were sold by their families into this life. And after they've been rescued, they no longer have contact with their families. Some of them were placed in different villages through the mountains with families who wanted to take care of them and take them in. That's a whole nother level of dealing with the rejection of your biological family, but it even shows more of anyone can receive the acceptance of a family that truly loves them and values them as God does. I have a biological family, and I chose not to reach out to them and make connections with them, but I know a lot of adopted kids do reach out to the biological family. But for me, my adopted family is my family, and it continues to be so even as an adult. My kids love their grandparents. With God being in control of your life, look to your past to say, what has God put me through, and how can I use all of that for my future? Knowing that I am a child of God and a brother of Jesus is pretty easy to understand because of my adoption. It wasn't what you were born into, it wasn't what you did, but it's what someone did for you.